Vaya, Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, wanted to seek the blessing of Radha Madhava, Radha Shyam Sundar, Krishna, Balaram, Balagopan, Singadeva, Bhagavan, Jagannath, Baladev, Gaurnitai, Tulsimani, Haridas Thakur, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, and the assembled devotees. So, continuing on Canto 9, chapter number 7, we're going to talk more about the descendants of various dynasties, the descendants of King Mandata. In this chapter, the descendants of King Mandata are described, and in this connection, the histories of Purukutsa and Harishchandra are also given. The most prominent son of Mandata was Ambarish, not the same Ambarish that we've already talked about, who was a great devotee. His son was Yavnavaswan, and Yavnavaswa's son was Harita. These three personalities were the best in the dynasty of Mandata. Purukutsa, another son of Mandata, married the sister of the snakes, Sarpagana, named Narmada, in Rasatala, the lower region of the universe. That's where normally the prominent snakes are. Purukutsa, being empowered by Lord Vishnu, was able to kill all the Gandharvas who deserved to be killed. The son of Purukutsa was Trasadasyu, whose son was Anaranya. Aranya's son was Haryashva. Haryashva's son was Praruna. Praruna's son was Tribandana, and Tribandana's son was Satyavrata, also known as Trishankhu. So this is what we've just described. Purukutsa, Tashadasyu, Aranya, Haryaswa, Paruna, Tribandana, Satyavrata, celebrated by the name of Trishankhu. Now, Trishankhu, when Satyavrata, aka Trishankhu, kidnapped the daughter of a Brahmin, his father cursed him for this sinful act, and Trishunka became a Chandala, worse than a Shudra. He became known as because of the three faults. He displeased his father, he killed a cow, he ate its flesh. Wow. Crikey. Later he performed a yajna to go to heaven, and with the power of Vishwamitra, he was brought to the heavenly planets. But by the influence of the demigods, he fell down, back downwards. He was stopped in his fall, however, by the influence of Vishwamitra. Even today, he can be still seen hanging in the sky, head downwards. This is Trishunka. This is another form of illusion in Maya. This is my body. I'm so attached to it. Let me go to heaven in my body. Why? What's the problem? What's the big deal? There is. It's ridiculous, actually. Anyway, the son of Trishunka was Harishchandra. He's a great devotee. Harishchandra once performed a Rajasriya Yajna, but Vishwamitra cunningly took all of Harishchandra's possessions on the pretext of a Dakshina contribution and chastised Harishchandra in various ways. Because of this, a quarrel arose between Vishwamitra and Vashishta. Harishchandra had no sons, but on the advice of Narad, he worshipped Varun, and in this way got a son named Rohit. Harishchandra promised that Rohit would be used to perform a Varun Yajna. Varun reminded Harishchandra repeatedly about this yajna, but the king, because of affection for his son, gave various arguments to avoid sacrificing him. The animal becomes fit to be sacrificed only after 10 days from birth. When an animal grows teeth, then it becomes pure enough to be sacrificed. So these are the different excuses. When all the teeth have fallen out, it will be fit for sacrifice. When the animal's teeth grow in again, he will be pure enough to be sacrificed. When the sacrificial animal is able to fight with the enemy, then he will be purified. So all these different excuses. Thus time passed, and gradually the son grew up. To safeguard his life, the boy who found out that he was to be sacrificed, then took bow and arrows in hand and went to the forest. Meanwhile, at home, Harishchandra suffered from dropsy because of an attack from Varun. When Rohit received the news that his father was suffering, he wanted to return to the capital, but King Indra, disguised as an old Brahmin, prevented him from doing so, advising him to go to holy places. Following the instructions of Indra, Rohit lived in the forest for 6 years. Then he finally returned home. Rohit purchased Suna Sepa, the second son of Ajigartha, and gave him to his father, Harishchandra, as the sacrificial animal. Whoa. In this way, the sacrifice was performed. Varun and the other demigods were pacified, and Harishchandra was freed from his disease. So, this is quite heavy stuff. In this sacrifice, Vishwamitra was the chief priest, Hota. Jamdagni was Advaryu chanting the Yajurved hymns. When a sacrifice, a yajna like this is done, you need very qualified people because they're actually going to perform sacrificing the life of a child or animal. And that is extremely sinful activity unless it's done according to the proper procedure in the Vedic scriptures. So Vashisht was the chief Brahminical priest. Yasya was the Udgata, chanting the Samaved hymns. King Indra, being satisfied with the sacrifice, gave Harishchandra a golden chariot. Actually, Shuna Shepha was not sacrificed because he was greatly advanced in spiritual life, and therefore the demigods involved in the sacrifice protected him. The great sage Vishwamitra saw that Maharaja Harishchandra, along with his wife, was truthful, forbearing, and concerned with the essence. Thus he gave them imperishable knowledge for fulfillment of human mission, transcendental knowledge. When the self-realized spirit soul is engaged in service to the Lord, he is eternally imperceptible and inconceivable. Thus established in spiritual knowledge, he is completely freed from material bondage. Chapter 8. The sons of Sagar meet Lord Kapil Dev. So, chapter 8. Well, Harishchandra, there's a huge pastime with Vishwamitra. And we're probably all quite familiar with that pastime. But he was really tested in terms of his truthfulness. And he passed the test, but it was a really tough challenge. In the 8th chapter, the descendants of Rohit are described. In the dynasty of Rohit, there was a king named Sagar. The son of Rohit was known as Rita, and the son of Harita was Champa, who constructed a township known as Champapuri. The son of Champa was Sudeva. The son of Sudeva was Vijaya. The son of Vijay was Baruka, and the son of Baruka was Vrika. Bahuka, the son of Vrika, was greatly disturbed by his enemies, and therefore he left home with his wife and went to the forest. When he died there, his wife wanted to accept the principle of sati, dying with her husband. But when she was about to die, a sage named Aurava found that she was pregnant and forbade her to do so. The co-wives of this wife of Bahuka gave her poison with her food, but still her son was born with the poison. Crikey. So, Rohita, Harita, Champa, Sudevi, Deva, Vijay, Baruka, Vrika, Bahuka. The son was therefore named Sagar, which means Sa means with, Gara means poison. Sagar means poison. Interesting. King Sagar had two wives, Sumati and Keshini. Following the instructions of the great sage Urva, Sagar reformed many clans, including the Yavanas, the Shaksas, Hayyas, and the Barbaras. The king did not kill them, but he reformed them. This is an art. Instead of killing the enemy, you change them. Our enemy is our mind. Hard to kill the mind, but possible to transform the mind. Not easy, but possible. Then again, following the instructions of Urva, King Sagar performed the Ashwamedh sacrifice. However, the horse used for such a sacrifice was stolen by Indra, the king of heaven. While searching for the horse, 60,000 sons of Sumati, who were very proud of their prowess and influence, extensively dug up the surface of the earth. They were looking for the horse. This is the sons of Sagar. And in this way, they dug a trench, which later became known as the Sagar Ocean. In the course of this search, they came upon the great personality Kapil Dev. So this is actually going beyond, what's that place? Where did we go? That, what's the Bay of Bengal? Ganga Sagar. Yeah, beyond the Ganga Sagar. They came upon the great personality Kapil Dev. Now, who is Kapil Dev? We've already talked about Kapil Dev in the third canto. He's the incarnation of God. His mother was Devahuti, father was Kadam. And he instructed Devahuti about Sankhya Yoga. So with their intelligence stolen by Indra, they thought Kapil to have stolen the horse. Kapil was living as a sage in a very simple way. And they falsely accused him. With this offensive understanding, they attacked him. Now, Kapil, he was a Brahmin, right? He's in Brahmin incarnation. He did not fight back. But they attacked him. But within themselves, this huge heat came, and their own bodies got burnt. Not because of Kapil. It was just that offensive behavior led to them being burnt to ashes with fire emanating from their own bodies. So, 60,000 sons killed. Keshini, the second wife of Sagar, had a son, Asamanjasa. Formerly in his previous life, Asamanjana Jasa had been a great mystic yogi, but by bad association he had fallen from his exalted position. In this life, he was able to remember his past birth, Jati Smaran. He could remember his past birth. Smaran means remember. Jati, past birth. Nonetheless, he wanted to display himself as a miscreant, hiding his true nature. So he was a great yogi, but he wanted to hide that. He would drown the boys who were sporting in the river Sariyu. Due to this abominable activities, his father exiled him. Then Asamanjasa exhibited his mystic power by reviving the boys and bringing them before the king and their parents. After this, Asamanjasa left Ayodhya, and King Saga greatly lamented the absence of his son. So this was from the second wife of King Saga. Okay. Asamanjasa's son was Amshuman, who later searched for the horse. So they still hadn't found this horse, huh? And delivered his uncles. He wanted to save them all. Upon approaching Kapil Dev, Amshuman saw both the horse meant for sacrifice and a pile of ashes. Amshuman offered prayers to Kapil Dev. My lord, you are fully situated in everyone's heart, but no one can see you, since they are influenced by the external energy. Sages freed from the influence of the three modes of material nature. Sages such as the four Kumaras, Sanak, Sanandana, and Sanatan are able to think of you who are concentrated knowledge. How does he know all this? Because he is a mystic yogi. But how can an ignorant person like me think of you? Simply by seeing you, I have now become freed. I've become free from all lusty desires, which are the root cause of insurmountable illusion and bondage in the material world. You assume a form resembling a body just to give us instructions, but actually you are the Supreme Person. I therefore offer my respectful wishes. So he understood who Kapildev was. Kapildev was very pleased by the prayers and returned the horse. After getting back the horse, however, Anshuman still stood before Kapildev, and Kapildev could understand that Anshuman was praying for the deliverance of his forefathers. Thus, Kapildev offered the instruction that they could be delivered by water from the Ganga. Anshuman then offered respectful obeisance to Kapildev, circumambulated him, and left that place with the horse for sacrifice. When King Sagar finished his yajna, he handed over the kingdom to Anshuman, and following the advice of Aurva attained salvation. So the king managed to finish the yajna because of the horse was returned. Chapter 9. No. Okay, we'll carry on Monday. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, let's make a stop. Srimad Bhagavad Puran ki jai.